Toastmaster. Well, I too did my research on St. Patrick's Day and found out that St. Patrick's Day, yes, it has some historical significance, like both Martin and Mary Jane talked about, regarding St. Patrick and his converting people to Christianity in Ireland. However, today it's really mostly about partying, right? And so I'm going to ask some questions that maybe have something to do with something that may be Irish and maybe a little bit might be open-ended as well. So this might cause you, whoever gets selected, a need to be a little bit creative in their response. So, St. Patrick's Day, you think about food and drink, right? You think about corned beef, cabbage, and potatoes, and maybe green beer. Tell me about your favorite drink or drinks, whether you had them yesterday, whether they're alcoholic or not. Chris.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. I think I should be careful here. We're recording, and this has to be about my favorite drink. Well, relatively recently, I was at I think it was like a birthday happy hour at McCormick's and Schmick's. And I was with some coworkers, and I was looking at some of the well drinks that were on happy hour, and I was talking to my friends, and we said, you know, has anyone ever tried bourbon? And none of us had tried bourbon, right? And so we're saying, my boss is here too. I'm not going to say who my boss is, but he's like, you know what? You've never had bourbon before? Let's go get a shot of bourbon. So 5 of us go up, we go to the bar, we order some bourbon, we all take our shot. And unlike other whiskey, this wasn't so bad, right? I don't know if it's a relatively recent development, but Moscow mules have been getting pretty popular lately. And I discovered that if you replace the vodka with bourbon, it tastes even better. And so that has been maybe my drink of choice as of lately for St. Patrick's Day. We went out last night. I had a Guinness, just for tradition's sake. I had an Irish car bomb. My morning meeting this morning was canceled. My lunch meeting was canceled, and so I kind of slept in. I'm going to be here a little late tonight. But you know, we did a little bit of celebrating. I had my Guinness, I had my Irish car bomb, and in terms of a favorite drink, it'd be the Kentucky Mule is what you call it, the Moscow Mule with bourbon.
Ah, nice. All right,
I wasn't careful at all.
Thank you, Chris. Mary Jane talked about the shamrock and the 3 leaves of the shamrock, representing the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. 3 could be anything. It could be triplets. It could be a lucky number. It could be 3rd time is the charm. It could be three-peat. It could be a trifecta. Tell us anything you want to talk about regarding something related to 3. Doug.
Fellow Toastmasters, if you research the triune nature of the universe, you'll find a great many things of interest. It's incontrovertible that you'll find things that you didn't realize were there. You know, when we talk about in religious matters, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, right? It's a structure of ideology that most people can find some relation to. I found one recently that was fascinating to myself in Puna, which is another made-up religion. Its roots go back to the pyramid people, right? The theory is the tribe left there because they knew it was getting ugly, and they went to hide. Where's the best place to hide in the world? Hawaii. Took the universe 3 or 4 generations to find them, right? So they were out in absolute bliss, hanging out. And when they talk about the triune nature of man, they talk about the subconscious, the conscious, and the higher self. And they've got this whole structured idea of things based upon that idea. The fact is that we all have a subconscious, and we didn't realize that until this century. right? Before then it was like, no, there's only my conscious mind. Well, they measured it recently, and they found out that the conscious mind is less than 1% of everything that's there, which is why it's important that you become comfortable conveying information from your whole being, right? You can only hold on to a very, very small number of things at any one time, yet you can reflect a great many things. So, the triune nature of things is important. Google it, do a little research. It's fascinating. I spent hours on this subject. You couldn't do it justice in a 20-minute speech. So, fellow Toastmasters, enjoy your day. Mr. Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Doug. When I think about something I was trying to think of what's Irish, and all I could think of was that leprechaun from Lucky Charms commercial. So, tell me something about your breakfast or your morning routine. Cereals, your favorite cereal. What's your morning routine look like? And maybe favorite cereal? Atta'ya.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. My morning routine, well, it's all dependent upon what time I'm getting here. 2 days a week I get here at 5 a.m. So I'm up very early, and that means that the night before I had to prepare my breakfast, my lunch, any snacks, my clothing, and so forth, because I only give myself about 30 minutes to get ready. Technically, I could take 45 minutes because I only really need about 15 minutes to get here, and I'll pull up at 5 on the dot. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I don't get here until 7 o'clock because my children are with me and I take them to school. But yet again, I'm up at 5. I have them up at 5:35. I'm out the door at 6 o'clock. And again, I have to have a certain level of preparation because I never know what I'm going to get with them in the morning. Some days they don't want to get up. Some days they want breakfast, as in cook me breakfast. And, you know, what I thought I had planned does not work. So I have to go with the flow. I have to be prepared really the night before. And my favorite cereal, it varies, but right now I'm eating a cereal by Quaker. And I can't remember, it's like Quaker Squares or something, but it's really good. And my kids even like it. So it's healthy, so they say it's good and it works. I haven't been late yet. So.
All right. Well, speaking of the subject of leprechauns, like the Lucky Charms guy, Leprechaun was a movie back in 1993, and it featured a young Jennifer Aniston in her film debut. But it was also a scary movie, right? So tell us something, could be about Jennifer Aniston if you like, or Friends if you want to go that route. But tell us something about a scary movie or something that scares you. Wes.
Thank you, Mr. Table Master. I'll get it one of these days.
All right.
Okay, so when I think of scary movies, I saw The Ring in the theater, big screen. That was probably 7, 8 years ago. I'm not sure when that thing came out. But I do remember being thoroughly freaked out in the theater while I was watching that. Coming home, seeing my big screen in the living room, and really not wanting to get anywhere near it if I could at all possibly avoid that. I would say, yeah, when it comes to theater, that would probably be at the top of the list. I haven't seen Exorcist yet, although I hear that's a pretty freaky one. I don't know if I want to go there. If somebody wants to sit down and challenge me to watch it, I'd be happy to do so. But outside of this screen, something that scares me, I would say, is not knowing what I'm doing, such as being called on to give a speech or do an audit or something about a topic I'm not very familiar with. If I have time to prepare for something, I'm perfectly comfortable. I go ahead and present on that. But as far as being spontaneous, it's a little bit trickier. My mind doesn't really work that way. It is very analytical and deliberate, and it is controvertible in the sense that, oh boy, I'm trying to get a bonus point here. See if I can pull it off. It is incontrovertible, really. That's an easier way to use it. That I'm much more comfortable in the writing realm than when it comes to speaking. So that is also part of the reason why I'm here. And I'll probably be forced to give an introductory speech at some point, so I don't want to steal too much material from that. But public speaking is, of course, something that most people do find to be kind of uncomfortable. So look forward to improving on that, Mr. Tabletop.
Nicely done, Wes. And since we have 3 speeches, I had another question, but I'll leave that for another time to get to our evaluations.